Hi, hi there.
And
Yeah.
hello to you too.
I think my brain said hello, but my mouth said hi. And it's, ay, ay, ay. Welcome. I think I'm here. Oh, well.
That was
Um,
good.
yes.
Yeah. Good
To
morning.
anyone who's new, it gets better. The podcast will get better, I promise. Yes.
You know, that just proves right there we're human,
Yes.
and humaning is not always easy.
No, it's not. No, no. And our body devas, which is what we call our physical body, is separate from our soul. We're just living together within each other for this lifetime, right?
Right.
And sometimes our body deva has a different agenda than our ego has, or our, you know,
hmm
whatever our soul has. And
Well, and those are separate too, right? The
I
ego.
was just going to say that. Yes, the ego from the soul. Yes. So
Yeah.
there's a lot of moving parts here,
There's so,
and we are not always on the same page.
no. That reminded all of the parts reminded me of um a massive healing that you gave me, and I had like gingerbread man that was sliced into
Yes.
these super thin pieces, and there was so
Yes.
many slices
Yes.
representative of all my different parts, and I'm like,
I remember that. Yes.
it's so many different pieces that have to work together
Yeah.
for any
For
type of
this, yes, for this
stability.
lifetime.
It's
Everything about, yes, yes.
yeah,
It's amazing we get anything done, right?
seriously, it is.
Yes.
Because I mean,
And our ego can override all of it. But
ugh, yeah,
yes, the ego is directly affected by all of our traumas and our wounding, etc., and it can totally
yeah, it
overrides plans. I mean, speaking of that, this past week we've both had people, clients, cancel at the very last moment,
mhm,
or in your case, one just didn't show up. Um, and that's fear,
which is ego.
which is ego.
Yeah,
Yes.
yep.
And even though this thing is good for them, the fear, woof, we talk about you. You all know who've been listening to us. You don't even have to listen to us very often to know that we talk about fear all the time. Fear is a liar.
Fear is so fear is probably one of the most constant things in our lives.
Oof. Yes.
At least,
Yes.
well,
Doesn't
in my
matter
life.
how much healing you've done.
Mm-mm,
Yes.
mm-mm. And I know people who would deny
Yep.
they don't have fear,
Right.
and
Mm-hmm.
maybe they don't have fear the way they consciously think of fear,
Right. Right. I was just going to say that.
but
Well,
their verbiage, their actions, everything is like
yes.
there's a big red neon fear sign blinking over
Yes.
them.
Yes.
Yeah.
We can't fear. So, you all that's been listening to us for a while, I'm going to say that you're going to hear this again. You're going to think, oh my God. But really, it's for the newer people. We really have to, and this works with also with everything, whatever dimensions, with vibrations, with everything. We have love and we have fear.
Yes.
Love and fear. And all the other emotions go inside one of those two sort of sides, or those two
Right.
pockets, whatever.
Right.
So fear is what, when you get angry, as we know,
Sure.
anger is a secondary emotion.
Yep.
So fear is really the first. If all those other things, being stubborn, um, oh my gosh, I don't know why I can't think of all the things, because I think I'm at such a high vibration right now that I can't come down to find all those. um, jealousy, envy, all of those things are secondary emotions to fear, or at least fear is woven in there. So when we say fear, who knows? I mean, so let's say someone, you know, we get an email. We're supposed to be on Zoom at a particular time. We get an email a minute before that time or a minute after. Oh no, I forgot. I'm sorry. Blah, 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 blah. And we sit there and go, okay, clearly this person is in fear. They may not see it that way. What they see is they're totally bypassing the fear and just going to, oh my gosh, I just can't make it today. Oh no, there's something going on. Their ego flies in, but really it's fear.
Yeah.
It's fear of, if I go to that session, I'm going to have to hear some shit that I don't want to hear because whatever.
And that's not, sometimes that's not even conscious, right?
Oh, absolutely.
In fact, probably most of the time it's not conscious.
Yes, I agree.
There's some inner workings in you that says, I'm coming up, but I don't want to hear it. I'm coming up, I don't want to hear it. So we get, wrapped up in whatever it is that we're doing in the moment, or we make a decision to go do something that in the back of our minds, we know it's going to interfere with that appointment, but I'm going to go do this anyway.
That way it interferes with the appointment. Right. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. And as much as, so I'm going to say this, as a practitioner, it's very rude to do to us. That's very, very rude. Because we plan our, we put you in the schedule. And if you contact us at the last moment, we can't just put in another person in that space. So it's very rude. However, at the same time, we always know what the truth is. No matter what you put in your email that you send to us, we know the truth. You're scared. We often say, why can't they just tell it? Why can't you just say it? You know what? I'm really scared of what was going to come up. So I chose to bypass it, and now I'm coming in, and this is so rude, and blah, blah, blah. But we don't often hear that. But that's all fear. That's all fear.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, and it's all a choice. It is all a choice.
True.
Yes.
And we make choices all the time that we don't even realize.
Yes.
That it's a choice.
So here is one that I think someone asked this one time, or maybe Fred said it to me, something like that. It's about choice and free will. Do we always have free will? Is when we decide to, you all know you're never off your journey, right? We all know that, but
always on the journey.
But there is that moment when you sort of consciously come on your journey. I'm going to consciously be on my journey.
Right.
Do we still have free will when we consciously decide I'm going to listen to spirit over life or whatever? Am I going to, because some people have a really hard time with allowing spirit to lead us. There's something with that term, I'm going to be led.
Yes.
Freaks them out.
Well, it's freaky. I mean, I'm not gonna lie.
There you go.
It freaks me out. So, but we're using our free will when we make that conscious decision.
Yes.
And we always have free will.
Always.
Every second of every day, we have that choice of using our free will to be led.
Yes. Yes.
Or using our free will to say, yeah, I know better than you, spirit. I'm doing it my way.
Yes. Yes.
Free will.
Yep. And I have Fred here shaking his head because I use my free will all the time and it drives him nuts. Because what I do is I go against, I'm constantly arguing with him about, is this the right thing? Is this not the right thing? Why is this? Why? How come I'm blah, 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 blah. And so I constantly use my free will. And I'm on my, absolutely on my, I'm consciously on my journey and using my free
Absolutely.
will.
And if we didn't exercise our free will, what is this?
Yeah.
Man. Okay, this isn't going to make any sense. So,
oh, hit me.
Yeah. If we don't exercise our free will, we basically become a doormat.
Yeah, that's still free will to be a doormat, but yes, I know where you're going with that.
Yes. And because that's what they're showing me. They're showing me being a doormat, and I'm
right.
Okay, I can't speak and argue with Cowboy at the same time.
Oh, like I do.
Pam can speak and argue with Fred at the same time.
Yes.
I can't argue and speak. So the argument I was having was, but if I'm being led and I'm not exercising my free will, how am I being a doormat for you?
Okay.
Cowboy. How am I being a doormat for spirit if I'm not exercising my free will? The answer to that is because I'm not being a willing participant.
Woof. Okay.
I'm just kind of being drug.
So it is free will to allow other people to make our decisions for us.
Well,
however, right? However, we are not using our God-given free will. Our right to really, to me, what free will really is making my own decisions.
Yes. So we are using free will in deciding we're not going to use our free will.
Yes.
We're using our free will.
Which really kind of is using free will.
I give you power. Yep. My free will says you have all the power.
Yes.
You are more important than me.
Yes.
You dictate all of my emotions, my feelings, my thoughts, my actions.
Yes. Now, here's what just came up. Sorry, did I interrupt?
No, I was just going to say, and that is such a dichotomy of free will.
Yes. Yes. And what came, well, there's a bunch of stuff that came, and then what it sort of landed on is Friday nights. My husband has a very stressful job, and he is in charge. That's just him. He's just a very in charge human being. And his work, he is top dog, right? So Friday nights, you've heard us talk about this. That's my night. That's our night. I make pizza and we do, I mean, that's our thing. He wants zero free will on Friday nights. He comes home, we have dinner, he gets a glass of wine, he plops down the sofa, or out, if it's nice, he'll go outside, and he wants to not make another decision until the morning. Like that, I'm out. And I allow him that. He works very hard. It's very straight. He needs that time. He needs his brain. He needs that time out.
Yeah.
So that, I guess what I was saying was this difference between there's that, which I think is a very healthy way. It's still his free will. He has chosen to not think for the rest of his life. And it's still free will, but that's not being a doormat. I guess I was seeing this sort of different. I guess I was sort of being shown this difference. Like sometimes you do it for your mental health.
Yes.
For just straight for your health. I can't make another. And so I do that. I make dinner. I choose the movie. I do, and I'm okay with that because I know I'm doing something really kind for him.
Right.
And although I just got this remembering, what do you want to watch? I don't know. Like he can't even, like it won't even, I could ask him and it's still going to be, do you want this or this? Like you just sort of get this.
Which is what's coming is that is a very beautiful thing because he knows whatever his
Me.
cutoff time is.
Mhm.
I'm guessing it's once he's turned off the engine of the car when he's home. Because
I'm going to say, yeah, I was going to say farther in than that, but no, you're right.
I think it's when he turns off the engine.
Yeah.
He knows he can shut down.
Yep.
He knows you've got him.
Yep. Yep.
And in fact, there's even a feeling that he knows if for some reason you aren't going to be home, you still have him. He's not going to have to. He just,
Correct. And that has happened on occasion.
I mean, life is life, right?
Life is
Nothing
life.
ever,
Yes. And he still checks out. He's like, poop. Yes.
Yeah. So I view that as just an absolute beautiful thing that he has that much trust that he
Yes.
can shut down his brain.
Yes. 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 And that's free will on both our parts.
Yes.
Yes. So do we always have free will? Yes.
Hmm.
Even at time, even if your free will says shut it down or be a doormat, that's your choice.
It is your choice.
You have used your free will. That word's just not coming that I'm trying to find. And then also, before we come into life, we have free will. We've chosen what we want to do in this lifetime.
Yes.
We have a big old team of people helping us, or big old team of spirits, souls, whatever, helping us. that
Very
are
true. Not people.
Yes, that are much higher on the pay grade than me, than any of us. When we have our guides and our council, and all these amazing beings, and we have free will then too. And then we come down to life, we get stuck in this body, and then we get wounded.
And we still have free will through it all.
Yeah. It's
So,
pretty complicated. It's pretty complicated, this whole thing.
So free will.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Because as you said, we come in and we get wounded. And I said, and we're always exercising free will, right?
Uh-huh.
So what went through my mind was, oh, it's my free will that I get victimized. Yep. It's my free will that
it is.
that I get hurt. And
yeah, you already made that decision. Sorry, go ahead.
Well, what they're showing me is this clash of free wills.
Yes, once you have this ego, right?
So I have my free will, and this other person has their free will.
Yep.
And their free will smothers me.
Yep. But your free will came at the time that you were planning this lifetime.
So there's no such thing as an accident.
No. No. And that's where this is way above my pay grade. Everything is thought out. Every single circumstance that could possibly happen at any moment is already thought out. If Pam makes this decision, if this person makes a decision, if Mari-Lyn makes a decision right now, there has to be an answer for everything. And maybe it happens in that split second that it happens, and it's not, that could be too. I'm really not privy to all that information, but what I know is everything has a plan. I mean, how many times has something really rotten happened? Mm-hmm. And at some point we look back and go, wow, I'm really grateful that happened. Because I am who I am today because of all of that. Because this certain thing happened because of all that.
That's true. Looking at it from the human perspective, though, that's big. That's so.
Yeah.
Even knowing what I know.
Yes. Yeah.
That's really hard to wrap the human brain around.
Yeah. It is. Yeah. And even like we talked about, there At what point, I'm not sure, but there is free will around becoming a ghost. Most of us choose not to do that, but that is part of our journey as well.
Right.
And then who we're going to meet up with in that realm is also planned out.
As
All
far as other ghosts,
ghosts, entities, whatever's happening. And then meeting us. Don't you be looking at me like that. I don't know if you people aren't watching us.
yeah, I forgot.
The evil eye
This
here.
is not, well,
The
that
side
wasn't,
eye. The
that
side eye.
wasn't directed at you. That was like directed at, I'm not sure what that was directed at.
Yeah.
The last clearing we just did,
Uh-huh.
the entire scenario, the culture that we,
Oh, okay, the one with Shabali. That
the
was
one
the
with
last one,
Shabali,
right? Oof, we've done so many. I'm like, what? I was seeing where you were going.
being basically introduced into another cultural
Oh, it was fabulous.
dimension.
It'll be out in a few weeks, everyone, for those of you who watch the paranormal channel.
And my brain, that look was my brain going, hold up, wait a minute. I agreed. My free will said yes.
Yes.
And
at what point did you say no? It wouldn't have happened had you said no. If you
you're right.
Express your free will in a different way. Yeah.
You're right.
And then things would have changed. It would have been different.
Would have been different.
Yeah.
But that's, and once again, knowing what I know, it's still hard for my human brain to accept that.
Mm-hmm.
Because that means,
because it's way above our little brains cannot go there, can't think that way.
right. And so what I experienced before the clearing, that means I have to take complete responsibility.
Yeah.
And
your part in it. You don't take for everything, but for your part in it, but you already did that.
Well, yeah, but not to the extent of the clarity that came as you were talking about.
Oh, okay. All right.
Making those free will decisions and contracts before we come into this life.
Yes.
Because when we are in this high vibration and we're talking about all this, it lands, more clarity comes through spirit, and I know. But when I'm just humaning, I don't always put my brain in that situation of knowing.
Right.
I just go to being a 3D human.
Yes, yes, yes.
And as humans, it is coming clearer and clearer that we do not like to take personal responsibility.
No, we do not.
And sometimes we don't even know how.
Absolutely.
So,
which is where a healer comes in, whether therapist or, whatever type of person that is, that you know, that person that's helping you work it out, helping you heal.
True.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so, well, yes, I could say, yeah, my guard was down. I wasn't paying attention. I was sidetracked with this. I did not really take full responsibility.
Oh, I did not know that. Okay.
Yeah, I did not.
Oh, all right.
Okay. I was not paying attention. I was
probably blame me because I made you do it.
And no, there were other circumstances though, right? I mean,
sure. Yeah.
There were,
there are people going, what the fuck are they talking about? We have to give them a little bit.
I guess we should.
Right. Sorry, everyone. Because we're being a little cryptic here.
I did mention the clearing that we did with Shabali.
Yep.
There was an entity that was at her home, and that entity, so she had reached out to me via text, and within a half hour of her text, I was attacked.
Yes.
And I was sick, like I haven't been sick like that in a long time.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
The actual sickness was relatively short-lived, but the following day, it took me all day to recover.
Yeah.
I was down for the count.
Yeah.
And yeah, I have to take responsibility for allowing that attack to happen.
Right. And the reason I shouldn't say the reason, part of what happened, because it happens to all of us in this business, is some entities are very, very good at knowing when to strike, because we are fully engaged in looking the other direction. And that's what happened. And I might add, if you guys, those of you who watch, I'm more of the one who works with those type of entities. So not that I can't get attacked, because I do. I'm not saying,
and you have.
And I have. So I'm not saying that this doesn't happen to me. However, I'm more aware of looking behind my back or looking in certain directions, only because that's kind of what I'm here to do. Where Mari-Lyn, she has a different job. She's moving in. That was kind of, it was kind
An
of
initiation.
It was kind of spirit saying, okay, it's time to
you need to broaden your awareness.
Yeah.
I'm going to interject really quick.
Sure.
Watching Pam be attacked by an entity is a scary thing. We had a comment not too long ago. Do you guys ever get scared? And that watching you one time get attacked was one of the scariest things I have ever seen.
Because I'm the one that's there to protect you and everyone else there. That's part of my job.
And at the time, that was a very clear line, right? Because
yes, and I learned a lot from that.
That was I felt so bad. And I would like to think that my awareness after that has exponentially
as
grown.
did mine. So
boy, that was quite a while ago.
Yeah.
But so yes, we do get scared. And I just wanted to talk about that for a second, because
now as years go by, what we do, because of those of you who watch that channel, I know we have been taught by spirit, we don't fight fire with fire, we fight fire with water. Basically, it's what it is.
Basically,
we come in with compassion and love as soon as, or if we come in angry, if we're, I'm gonna hurt you, you've lost, you're done, you're out. You might as well just lay down and let yourself get attacked, because but that's not what we're here to help these souls. I don't care what vibration you have. Our first and foremost goal, our purpose, is to give you a chance to redeem yourself. I'm not sure if I want to say redeem. That doesn't feel right, but that's the word that's coming. And ask to be crossed over to the higher realms to heal. That's our purpose. You can choose not to, and we have someone take you. My guardians will take you wherever you need to go for your highest, but it's even they have free will. So a very low vibrational being who literally wants to kill me, I give them a chance. Do you want to heal or not? Like, these are your options with me.
Right.
And we've had them choose. That was crazy. The one we just did, he wanted to make amends with everyone that he hurt before he went.
Right. He wanted the lesser of the two evils.
Yes,
what was happening to him.
Yes.
Absolutely.
But that when so one of the things that spirit does, which is not fun, but you learn by getting attacked. You learn by things not going so great, but they can only tell you so much. Like, yes. I've had people say, well, why didn't you get warned? Why didn't they tell you? Well, what was I going to learn from that? I wasn't. You don't know you know, that stove is hot till you put your hand on it or you feel the heat or whatever it is.
Exactly.
So
Exactly.
you have to. And so this was years ago when I was still learning, and you don't just and no matter what this is, you don't just have the experience overnight. It takes years and years and years
It is a
of
process.
woof, of going through all kinds of stuff. Boy,
Yeah.
we've been through it.
Yeah.
Mari-Lyn and I have been through it. So we see a lot that's coming, but we don't always. Sometimes
we don't always. Could I segue into a totally different topic for a second?
Absolutely, because we need to get off paranormal, because there are people that listen to our podcast not for the paranormal, and they're probably like, what the hell?
Okay, so this is totally not paranormal.
Okay, you go, girl.
So, and it's a beautiful segue into why we don't just give psychic readings. Readings.
Yes, I think I might know where you're going, but no, not.
We don't give psychic readings.
No.
Now, when we're working with our clients, we're absolutely reading and
yes,
bringing messaging. However, there are some things that spirit doesn't even bring us.
Nope.
The importance of us not doing those readings is because we can tell you most likely two things are going to happen. We've either robbed you of the lesson
yes
you're going to learn, or you're not even going to understand, and there's no way.
Right.
What did I hear the other day? I can explain it to you, but I can't understand it for you.
Yes. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. And that's so perfect. Yes.
It is so perfect. And sometimes that's what a psychic reading will do. Yes. It explains something, but it doesn't help you understand it.
No. And that's part of where, too, I'm going to interrupt real quick.
Yeah.
So in the context of a healing, we're doing readings, and you understand so much more in that and it's still, some of it comes from spirit through my mouth, and others comes directly to you, whoever the healing is for.
Yes.
Yeah. Because really, people go to psychics. I'm going to say this, and I've been to many psychics. I love psychic readings. I do. I'll just say that right now. But half the shit you ask doesn't matter. It really just, it doesn't, it really has no bearing one way or the other. It doesn't, which is good, because a lot of times the stuff they tell you is wrong anyway. But you know, the questions you want to know about.
Yeah. And then the other stuff is usually stuff that you have to learn for yourself.
Yeah. Yeah.
You have to get thrown down the stairs.
Yep.
You have to be faced with making a hard decision.
Yep.
And oof. Shut up. So what they're bringing to me is, and that's why healing codependency is so important, because a codependent person robs the other person of so many lessons. Yes. I put myself in that category because I am, and I have robbed people of so many lessons. And I'm going to say not robbed them of, but I've delayed them. Yes. I've delayed their ability. I've taken that ability to learn it sooner away from them. So,
and they also, with their free will, accepted that.
Exactly.
That's part of that's part of their codependence too. There's a lot of codependence in psychic readers, healers, everything. I mean, just business is just like rotten with them. It's just amazing. And narcissists, woo, boy. To be able to tell someone, I mean, this is a narcissist's dream to be a psychic, really, to be a psychic reader, to be able to tell people what they should do and yikes. I do have something too, now that you're on, what?
I'm just, I can remember at one point having that internal struggle of, I really want to do that. but that's just not the right thing to do.
Right,
You
right.
want to do that? Oh, that is so wrong. I really want to do that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
And it is no longer a struggle.
Yeah.
Uh, and I have very clear boundaries. I
Yeah.
have told many a client,
Yeah.
I'm sorry, that is between you and spirit, and let me teach you how to
Yes.
learn how to get that information.
Yes.
But
Yes.
once upon a time, boy, that was a struggle.
Yes. Yes. I would like to clear something up. I did not realize that this happened. I have this beautiful client. I really like her a lot. She actually started with Mari-Lyn, and now she has come to me. And anyway, she said that she was this was after I gave her a healing, and she was in that really, after a healing, you're just kind of in that gooey ooey place. And sometimes, or you're just ready to run and cry. It kind of, kind of is. But
You either want to hug her or slap her.
yes.
Her off.
Oh, you flipped me off many a time.
You off many a times.
And because Mari-Lyn and I will talk about how my team's healings are not for the faint of heart. That you go to Pam, you're going to get your ass kicked, right? Because my team is like no other.
Yes, and I want to say that does not mean that Pam is kicking your ass. That does not mean that Pam is mean.
No,
it's
no.
not mean.
And that's what this client thought. She thought I was going to be mean to her. She was like, I thought you were going to like really like let her have it with, you shouldn't be doing this or whatever it was. I don't even know. But I said, oh my God, no. And now she knows. She knows I'm very compassionate.
You're very compassionate.
But when we talk about getting your ass kicked, what that means, my team gets right down very often to the core of what's going on, and it's hard to hear.
Oh, sometimes it is,
but it's all true.
Yeah.
But it's true. And so that's the hard part. And then you leave having to think about things. So that's the ass kicking. It's not, I'm not mean at all. I can be mean, I suppose, but and then if you watch our paranormal stuff, I mean, I can see where you might think that I'm, if I'm up against some pretty low dimensional vibrational thingy, whatever I'm trying to say, my words.
There's a difference between being mean and being badass.
I don't know if I'm either, but I'm not going to kick your ass not in literal way in a healing. But
you are pretty badass, especially when it comes to those lower vibrational entities.
Thanks.
Your ability. Now, this is partly how I define badass. The ability to stand face to face with a low vibrational entity that comes from who knows where.
Who knows where?
And sometimes we don't know where.
No. Who wants to hurt me?
Who wants to hurt you? Who may want to kill you. And your ability to stand in the vibration of love while holding boundaries.
Yes.
Not being all me emotional. Because even when I'm in that high vibration, I can't shut off my emotions.
No, nor should you.
Not part of who I am.
Right.
But you can stand in that high vibration with very stern and firm boundaries.
Yes.
You can give an ultimatum in the vibration of love. And if that's not badass, man, I don't know what is.
Well, I don't want to get my ass kicked. So yes.
What is it they say? I don't know. Something about necessity being a mother.
Yes. Yes.
I think that's badass. And I can see how that could be portrayed.
Sure.
As mean, but no. Because the vibration is so high.
Yeah.
I guess sometimes that vibration or frequency that we hold doesn't portray through our videos.
True. True.
I mean, because not
True.
everybody knows how to interpret
Right.
the vibrational differences.
I think you can see that I'm not angry. I'm pretty sure people can see that.
I would think so.
But maybe not. I don't know. I guess that's a question we've never asked people. Let us know. Those of you who watch our video, do I look pissed off? I mean, do I look angry or whatever? Because I'm really not. I know that my light language that I speak sometimes, some people think that sounds like I'm angry, and I'm not.
There have been times because I don't understand it. I have come now to be able to follow the rhythm of it with a little bit of understanding.
By the way, we just jumped right back into paranormal, but go ahead.
Oh, we sure did, didn't we?
Yeah, that's all right. People, hope you don't mind, everyone. It's part of your spiritual journey. Is the paranormal.
Part of the spiritual journey. It is. And okay, what's coming is that it is very important that just everyday people have some knowledge, that they have some insight to the paranormal, because part of our job in this life is to teach and to change the perspective.
Yes.
I don't know why that word really trips me up.
Perspective.
That
word? Okay.
Yeah. It totally tripped me up.
Yeah.
But everyday people, part of our job is to inform and educate. Yes. And so we have to talk about the paranormal once in a while, because it is part of life.
Yes.
And part of the journey.
And we are multi-dimensional energy healers, which includes beings in other dimensions. Multi-dimensional. Yes, we are multi-dimensional. We work with people with multi-dimensional. Our teams are multi-dimensional. Like, it's a full-on, there's more than just this.
Yep.
Yes.
And if this whole thing isn't thought-provoking, boy.
Woof. Yes. Yes. And please send your questions. If you all have questions.
Yes, please do. Yeah.
Email them, or if you're on YouTube, go ahead and drop them below. Comment. We love answering all the questions that come in.
And you can email us through the website, of course, at tcseverydaypsychics.com.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, and that's all free will. So now, okay, so here's a question.
Yes.
If I were someone listening right now, I'd be like, well, how did you two come about doing what you do with the paranormal? Because really, part of our purpose here is to educate people on what the paranormal actually is. But how is it that I when did I make the choice to not just work with those lower vibrational beings, vibrational, those vibrational ones. But I'm not here. I'm not. First of all, okay, this is really funny. If you think you're going to kick a low vibrational being's ass, you are outside your mind.
Outside.
You are. You're
wrong.
We have people once in a while that said, "Oh, I did," and I kicked their ass, and I just laugh. It's like, no, you didn't. No, you were sick for 2 weeks after. Do you know what? And they don't put those together. It's like, no, you will not kick their ass. Anyway, how did we become who we are today with this honor of working with all these beings? And we do it so very differently. And I don't want her job and she doesn't want mine. Trust me. I do not want to sit and Oh my God. Listen to those. I'm sorry. There's where I don't have patience like Mari-Lyn does. Mari-Lyn sits and she talks to them and they talk to her and they tell her their story and they both cry together. And then she calls in the light and they, whatever. There's this whole beautiful thing that happens. And it really is beautiful. And I can't do it. I'm always like, can we wrap this up? She's talking to some earthy and
I will say that doesn't happen so much anymore.
Oh
yeah,
I think you just do it faster now than you used to.
there is that.
Yeah, I think that's what it is, because you're beyond compassionate. Yeah, and you help them. So but
that doesn't sound good.
well, it's a good thing. I just can't do it. Give me some screeching whatever any day that wants to hurt me over have I crossed over? So yes, of course, everyone starts there. That's a beautiful thing. You have to learn how to cross over.
And you still do.
On
and there
occasion.
are times where the earthies go to you.
Yeah. I think because they want it fast. They're like, let's just rip that band. I'm going to go to Pam. Let's just rip that band-aid off. if I sit with Mari-Lyn,
I'm not going to sit here and go over my story and blah, blah, blah.
I don't want that. Oh my goodness. Yes. But we, and I've also been doing this longer than Mari-Lyn.
Yes, you have.
Yes. So, and it's been an honor watching you grow and learn along the way. But we chose this. Before we came into this life, we chose to do this, just like everyone chooses to do what they do. We've done this in many lifetimes. We've done it together in many lifetimes. And actually our whole team, I can't say it's mine anymore. I typically do the paranormal training, but Mari-Lyn is starting to help more with that, which is really beautiful. She was psychic and healing and all kinds of stuff, but that's sort of my area. But we chose it. We chose it before we came in. That was our free will. And even now, I could peace out and not do it.
Sure.
Absolutely. But and I there was a time when I there's been a few times actually when I'm like, am I really helping at all? Is this doing any good? And I have some very high beings, some ancient beings that come to me, and the ones that really help me with this. And they say, yeah, you have to, pretty much you have to keep doing this. Who's going to do it? Who's going to do it?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I stay in there. And I know, and I just get, that's my humaning sometimes. I get my little pity parties and I decide I want to leave it. And I'm reminded pretty fast that that's really not what I want to do. As soon as they come in, they don't have to talk to me, really. I'm like, oh yeah, that's the why.
And then she gets the taste of being emotional.
Oh, I hate being emotional. Yes. I do.
But there's no fighting it when those high vibrational
no
beings, those high vibrational guides, they come in, man. It's like,
this is more than just Fred can make me tear up, no doubt about it. But these are a different level even than him. There are so many different levels. Yeah. But anyway, boy, this has been a paranormal talk day. Did that make sense? This has been a paranormal talk day.
Yes, it has been.
Yeah. It's all been about free will, I think.
But it's all been about free will.
Yeah. Everyone has free will. You will always have free will, no matter where you are in your journey, in this life, in another life, whatever realm you're in, wherever you are, you have free will, as do the people around you. The difference is the lower vibrational beings who are also here on our planet whether it's from wounding or like there are people out there, I say like a Ted Bundy, if any of you are familiar with that serial killer. He is a low vibrational being, very low vibrational being. He still has a choice to cross over to the higher realms, but he might be back in some poor unsuspecting mom somewhere being birthed somewhere. I don't know what's happening, but they want your free will. That's what lower vibrational beings do. They want to stomp on your free will, where higher vibrational beings never do. They want you to make those choices for yourself. They want to honor your journey and what you're doing here. So, yeah.
They want us to be an active participant.
Yes.
In our journey, actively participating in those choices and actively participating in being led.
Yes.
Because being led doesn't mean we put on a blindfold.
No.
And get drugged by our ankles.
Right. That would be a low vibrational being would like that, because they want to control us. They want that control.
But not spirit.
No. So yes, we have free will. Yes, it's a part of our journey. Even when we come across, even when we've all been abused in our own ways, we still on some level gave that option, but they're all lessons.
Yeah.
It's all a lesson. And I'm sure there are people out there saying, I was 3 years old and this happened. How was that my free will? It was your free will prior to coming.
Right.
Coming here. And believe me, I've had to make a lot of amends or whatever, because I was very abused as a kid. So I can say that was free will from before I came.
Right.
And then in this lifetime, my free will came in afterward, because how am I now going to deal with this is my free will. How am I going to treat others is my free will. What do I do with that information?
And earlier when I was talking about the human brain being able to wrap itself around that free will piece about being a victim or our free will being overtaken, you just explained it. Yeah. But it's still hard to wrap our head around. Yeah. But remembering that the free will piece in that came before we come into this life, I think can be really helpful.
Yes. And I don't know if this just popped in my head or if someone out there is actually thinking about this. Because what came in, is it okay if I hate someone? That's what came in. That was a question that just popped into my mind. Someone who was abusive to you. Hate is not good for you. You can hate them all you want. However you choose to feel about them is your choice, and you have every right to do that. However, that doesn't help you. And forgiving them does not mean you forgave what they did to you. That when we go through that a lot in our healings, when we talk about forgiveness, what I forgive is what isn't, or what didn't. I forgive myself. I forgive the situation. Forgiving that person who did whatever they did to you is a very hard thing to do. And truly, it's not expected of you. That's really up to you. When you've truly, I can speak for myself, like with my mother, it took me years and years and years, and she was long out of this lifetime before I was able to forgive. Have I forgiven her for what she did? No, I don't. I still don't think I've done that, but I don't have to, because I actually look back now and I'm grateful for all of those things, because I am who I am today. I forgive the situation. I forgive a lot of things. I forgive myself for always wanting a different mom, for always wanting something that I didn't have. I forgive her for not being someone else. She was mentally ill. And so for that, I'm kind of forgiving of, but not the actual, like, I don't say, I forgive you for all the times you tortured me. I don't know if I'll ever go there. But I have forgiven myself, which is the biggest thing, I think.
Right. So this brings up a question
Mm-hmm.
of forgiveness in relationship to everything that was already planned out, everything that was
Yeah.
already agreed to.
Yep. 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 Yes. I actually, as you know, I have thanked my mother.
Yes.
The being that she is today in spirit, the
Mhm.
being who played my mother in this lifetime. That's the way we'll say it. That person, she comes to me as that person now. She no longer comes to me as the mother I had in this lifetime. She now comes to me as that other being. And I don't call her in very much, or rarely does she come in. Like, I don't think we're like great friends or anything. But if she does pop in for whatever reason, I'm okay with her now.
Yeah. I've always looked at forgiveness as it's not for them.
No.
Forgiving another person is not for that person's benefit.
Correct. Good.
Forgiving another person, for me, that forgiveness means I no longer punish myself
Yeah.
with hate,
Yes.
carrying that hate, that
Mhm.
resentment, that want of revenge.
Mm-hmm.
When I can find that place of forgiveness, I can let go of all of that and I free myself
Yes.
of carrying that burden.
And really, we all are here for ourselves. Every lifetime
Yes.
is for ourselves. So when the spirit that was my mother, even though she agreed to come in and do all those things to me, she never healed herself in this lifetime. She never once admitted it. She was never sorry for it. She was, so she had, when she crossed over and went through her her life review and her healing, woof, that had to be rough. Holy, so she got her days, whatever. She paid for it in her own way. So what do I have to forgive for? Like, that has nothing to do with me at that point. It's what she did and didn't do that she had to speak up for. She had to stand in that. So that's, yeah. But
Yeah.
oh, my back, I just realized I was scrunching over. So wow, we kind of went in an odd direction today, I think, kind of all over the place. Yeah,
Well, free will is a very big topic,
it really is.
and free will falls into absolutely every part of our life, our journey.
Yes.
And even when we're not exercising free will, we're doing that because of free will.
Yes. I mean, yes. Didn't mean to slap everyone. Sorry. Right, a bunch of people probably just jumped. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. So free will is absolutely part of everything. The life of our soul.
So for some people, making a decision is really hard.
Yeah.
I mean, what color socks do I wear?
Yes, that can be really hard for
Right?
some people.
I'm wearing blue pants and black shoes. Do I wear black socks or blue socks?
Right.
And free will.
Yeah.
Make a choice. So what is it about exercising our free will in such a simple way
Wounding.
becomes so hard?
The wounding. It's the trauma.
The
Yeah.
fear of being wrong.
Yeah. Well, depend on the person, but certainly that's part of it. Yeah. Making the choice that's going to get you ridiculed or looked down upon, or whatever it is, whatever You
Oh,
were trained as a child. However, you stayed safe as a child.
judgment.
Judgment, yes. However, you stayed safe as a child is what's going to follow you into adulthood and not being able to make those. What are you laughing at?
How important at one point in time the color of my socks really
Oh,
mattered.
yes. Yes.
So important.
Yes.
And trying, okay, I kid you not, putting on a black one, putting on a blue one, and looking in the mirror.
Oh,
Which one calls more attention? Which one is going to be noticed? Who's going to judge me for choosing that
ouch.
socks?
Okay, that's
Where?
there's some wounding right there, sister. Yeah.
Yeah. Once upon a time.
Mhm.
Oh my God.
It's also bypassing, right? What?
I don't wear socks anymore.
You don't, you go, matter of fact, you don't wear shoes unless you absolutely have to. You made that choice.
I made that choice.
Yeah.
Out. I'm done with that. I am
Yes.
done with that wounding. I'm not wearing socks.
Yes.
It doesn't matter.
And neener. Now I'm just not going to wear any.
And judge me all you want for being barefoot.
Yes. Don't care.
Don't care.
No.
I go out in the rain. I go out in the snow.
Yep.
I go out when our house was under construction.
Mhm.
I would walk through the construction barefoot.
Yep.
And the contractors would.
Oh my God. Yes, I'm sure.
And my response was, I know where I'm putting my feet.
Right. And I'm an adult, and if I want to walk out
And
here,
I would have probably said that too.
yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So not sure what my point in that was, but
No.
But
It's just
free
your
will.
free will.
My
Yeah.
free will.
Everything's about free will. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So exercise your free will, people.
Yes.
Yes.
And exercise it to your highest good.
Yes.
To your highest ability in any moment, in any given moment.
Uh-huh.
And that varies from day to day, second to second.
Yes.
What our highest good is, what our best ability is.
Yep.
Because sometimes, one day my best ability compared to the next day is really lacking.
Yes.
But if that's the best I can do
Mm-hmm.
in any moment, then that's it. And it
Yes.
can't be compared to any other time.
No. Every moment is different.
So if we can take into account our present circumstance when we're exercising our free will, and hopefully we're going to use our free will to be grounded.
Yes.
And recognize what's in my highest good or what's in my best ability right now.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And then exercise it.
Yep. Free will, baby.
Yeah.
I think that's a good place to stop. What do you think?
I think so.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you everyone for tuning in. Let us know if you have any questions or want to reach out, whatever it is.
Yeah.
Mari-Lyn
Any topics that you want to hear us talk about?
Yes.
We would love to know your questions, where you want us to expand into.
Yep. We're there. We're here for you. We love just sitting here chatting and talking. I mean, we do it anyway, so we might as well hit record.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Okay, y'all.
Right.
See you.
Thank you.
Next time. Thank you. Bye.
Bye.